Hey there, everyone. I hope you are all doing good. Today, I'm going to try a new sort of video where I'm going to build a system with you and then patch it and explain quickly what each module does and why I decided to put those modules together. First, let me say that this video is sponsored by Frap tools and Nekyia circuits because they sent those modules to me to try and to demo. I'm not getting paid for this. I just get the modules. There's no contract or anything. That being said, let's go. All the music you will hear in the background are going to be some little experiments with the system once it will be built. So let's start by the main sound source. This system is going to be some sort of a West Coast Buchla and Surge hybrid thing. This guy is going to be our main voice, the Branso by Frap tool. It's a typical complex oscillator dual architecture like the Buchla 259. Which has been used as an inspiration for many modules. This one, compared to the other ones that I have, is one of the most feature-packed. It has two oscillators, a very extensive wave shaping circuit, two FM bus, one for each oscillator, and a mod bus, which is a VCA sent a bit everywhere in the wave shaping section, but that you also can use as a VCA on its own. With this, as we are in the Frap tool territory, comes Bagai, which is a random voltage generator and also an audio effect. So it has one fluctuating random voltage, which is a typical Buchla-esque type of module, with the addition of burst generator attached to this circuit. Then we have a clock that goes at two different speeds, a slow one for the clock duty and a higher one for the audio mangling part. Then we have a sample and hold, and actually the sample and hold is the audio mangling thing. You can actually do this with any sample and hold, but you might find that some of them aren't fast enough. They stop at a given speed or given frequency, they stop to respond. This one is made to destroy audio if you want to. I'm going to set those here. They are going to be the Frap tool parts. Mostly consisting, as I said, as the main sound source and the main weirdo random modulation thing. Then I will need a classic sort of envelope generator or function generator. What's best here? Then a clone of the 281. This was a DIY project made by Synthcube, I think, using a circuit by Topobrio. It was probably sold only as a kit. I bought it already made. It's quite crazy how well it is made, though. I'm always impressed when I look at the back. So nice. Even though I have many function generators, I don't know why I like this one. It fits well in other black-centered module case. This kind of module, though, is only linear. The curves are linear of the envelopes. And the only way to change that is to use a control voltage processor. So this is a good time to go to the Nekyia circuit things, because they make this opal dual bus switched voltage processor, basically just a offset attenuator inverter. And they also have this analog utility logic kind of module that can help you unlock some possibilities with simpler module. Then we will need more modulations, of course. So we will have the Obsidian, which is dual LFO, with many outs, because it has like lots of logic outputs like sum and diff, same type of things that you will find here, the OR in the Buchla module. So it is more the LFO part of thing. This one being able to be LFO or clock or envelope. And we also have this one that I'm really looking forward to try. A triple voltage controlled decay envelope that's made to be very snappy. Then we have this super filter that's inspired by the Surge VCFQ, and basically takes on that circuit and adds a few little stuff like a voltage controlled crossfader inside. This wouldn't be a West Coast thing without a few homemade Vactrols. I'm really looking forward to try this LPG, which looks and seems to sound pretty damn good. It would probably be awesome with the Brenso, which is why I'm going to put it in the center actually. And we have this pinging module that also uses Vactrol. And this is still a mystery to me because I still don't have the manual at the moment where I'm starting to make this video. So I'm probably going to discover it with you when I will do the patching. I'm just going to add a few blank panels because this is probably people will be like, what the fuck? But this is sometimes an interesting part to put some little blank panels in between modules to make them more accessible. For example, making the low-pass gate a bit more spaced with the other modules, so it is easier to patch on that column type of interface. And then just want to close the thing in the end. You might think that there's not enough VCA, and you might be right. The low-pass gate can act as VCAs. That's two, probably mostly audio VCAs. But I'm pretty sure we can make a VCA or a VCA behavior kind of thing out of the logic module. There's lots of internal patching made in the Obsidian and the Brenso that have VCA inside. And there's a VCA inside the filter as well. So we'll just go with the flow and see what happens. I would also say that this is a pretty nice looking thing. But now that I'm looking at it, I want to change something, which is going to be this. To get more of a modulation side here, the center audio part here, more modulation, and the filter at the end. Makes sense to me, both in terms of I think I'm going to patch this, and I look at it, because this is still an important part. And I'm glad that mixing those few manufacturers make it still something that you can look at without your eyes bleeding, at least myself. Okay, that's a lot of talking. Let's make some music, and I will I will first have to plug everything in and screw everything in as well, which will be a pain with the slidingness of this case. So I will not show you that because it's not interesting. And then we will make some music. Okay, so let's make a few patches. Here I have the final output of the Brenso going just to an attenuator that's going straight to my mixer. I have the torso sending notes and gates. So if I start it like this and start to add some fold, we can hear the oscillator through its wave shaping circuit. The fold one gives you almost silence, so we could straight away send a CV there and have almost the same action as a VCA. I have some spring reverb, my Fostex 3180 on top of everything, just to give a bit of ambience. Okay, so here we can get a feel of how this is going to sound in general. I like that. Let's try to hear some of the thing that Brenso can do on its own. By opening this, I will allow the sine wave of the green oscillator to go control any of the unplugged jack. Those that are labeled with a little dotted line around the jack. This is if I remove all the controls. One of the things that I really like about Brenso is the ability to do amplitude modulation. And that this can be voltage controlled. Let's clock the sample and hold here. Here I'm actually controlling the amplitude. Here I'm controlling the amount of amplitude modulation. As the sample and hold output is bipolar, I need to have this in the middle and then adjust if I want the full range. This is amplitude modulation. If you flip the little switch down, it's ring modulation. Also invert the phase. Resulting in more metallic timbres. Now let's go for the Buchla bongo. So I'm taking the sine wave out here. I want to apply some modulation, frequency modulation of the green oscillator on the yellow one. This is the max amount of modulation. Here we have exponential, and here true zero linear. I'm going to use true zero linear. I'm going to control that FM bus, which is VCA saying how much I want those two type of modulation to pass through from this oscillator to this one. And really adjust the taste. This is more FM bassy kind of thing than Buchla bongo, but now let's try the low pass gate. It has a ping input, so let's ping it straight away. Taking some of the minus gate here from the bagai that's been clocked here, but in an irregular way, so it makes some weird stuff. Instead, we could use the same envelope and set it to CV. Let's see what it does. This sounds lovely. Let's control the decay. This is a bit too much, so let's use an attenuator. This low pass gate does have a long ring. This is cool. Now let's take a square wave output. We lose the FM right now, but I want to try this with the filters. So if you want a VCA here, you can use the crossfader from the mixer. We can plug in 2 instead of 1. And the crossfader will act as the VCA. There's an interesting morphing output here. Interesting to modulate with the fluctuating random of bagai. Let's try some filter pings now. Saw wave to ping. Low frequency mode. Bandpass out. Let's take the max function, which will use the maximum value of the two LFOs to control the Q setting, which will give us some sort of random decay. Clocking the sample and hold with the oscillator, which will give us the ping. Controlling the filter frequency will give us some random plucks. Enormous range if we use the 1 volt per octave. But this will free the CV input with the attenuator. To be used for FM modulation. Not using the torso here. Fluctuating random voltages to the oscillator speed for weirdo stuff. Bit of feedback on the distribution just to see what happens. This is good. Okay, for the last one, let's do a 2 oscillator patch. I'm going to mix the 2 oscillators. Let's do something like this. Let's add a little bit of slew. So one of the oscillators is lagging a little bit. And we are going to send that here in that module that I can't even name. Muzzle. That is a Vactral filter. This sound really reminds me of the QMMG by Make Noise when used in low-pass mode. It does have that screaming thing. This does have a ping input for instant stuff like this. You also have a CV input. Let's use the ping for weird accent. Sync with this. This is nicely in between West and East Coast. That's it for today. It was a fun way to discover all these modules with you. I hope this was fun. I will probably make more detailed videos about not each of them necessarily, but at least a few of them. Let me know in the comments if you have one that you prefer as a first one. I'm pretty busy at the moment, so it will probably take time, but still, always good to know. Lots of cool stuff here. I like this little skiff, and I'm probably going to make some music with it in the next weeks, month. Go have a look at my Patreon if you want some samples out of this session and maybe some teaching, and you can also buy some of these modules from the affiliate links below. It always helps the activities of this channel. I will get a cut no matter type of product you buy, even if it's not one of these. So, thanks again for watching. Bye bye. See you next time.